If you're still manually copying data between apps, forwarding emails, or updating spreadsheets by hand, you're wasting hours you're never getting back. I did the same thing until I found Make.com, and it changed how I work completely. So in this video, I'll show you exactly what Make.com is, how it works, and the workflows that can save you the most time, starting with the one feature that makes it different from every other automation tool out there. What is Make.com and how it works? Here's the simplest way to think about Make.com. Imagine a digital assembly line. You set up the steps once, and every time a specific event happens, the whole line starts moving on its own. That's essentially what Make does. Make.com, formerly known as Integromat, is a no-code automation platform that lets you connect your favorite apps and services and build what they call scenarios. A scenario is just a series of automated steps. One thing triggers, and a whole chain of actions follows, completely without you. No clicking, no copying, no switching between apps. Here's a real example. Every time someone emails you a PDF attachment, Make can automatically save that file to a specific Google Drive folder while you're sipping your coffee. That's the power of it. The interface itself is fully visual. You drag modules onto a canvas, draw lines between them, and watch the data flow. Think of each module as one app doing one job. Watch Gmail, save to Drive, post to Slack, and you're just connecting the dots. No coding required, and you can literally see your workflow laid out in front of you. Key features and why they matter. Now here's where it gets interesting, because Make isn't just a simple if this, then that tool. It goes way deeper than that. First, the app library. Make connects with over 3,000 verified apps. Gmail, Slack, Notion, Shopify, HubSpot, Trello, MailChimp, OpenAI. The list goes on. And if an app isn't natively supported, Make has an HTTP module that lets you connect to literally any API. So the ceiling is basically unlimited. But the real differentiator is the advanced logic. Make supports filters, routers, iterators, and aggregators. That's a fancy way of saying your automations can make decisions. You can say, only run this step if the email comes from a specific sender. You can split one workflow into two parallel paths based on conditions. You can loop through a list of 500 items and process each one automatically. Compare that to something like Zapier, where workflows are mostly linear. Make's visual, branching structure gives you a completely different level of control. And then there's the error handling. If something breaks mid-workflow, say an API goes down, Make can automatically retry, skip the step, or send you an alert. Your automations don't just silently die. That's a huge deal when you're running business-critical workflows. Oh, and one more thing worth mentioning. Make now has an AI assistant called Maia that can actually help you build workflows just by describing what you want in plain language. We're getting to a point where automating your work is almost as easy as asking for it. Use cases. Who can actually benefit from this? Let's make this concrete, because the best way to understand Make is to see it in action across different types of people. Think about your lead flow. When a potential customer fills out a form on your website, Make can instantly create a record in your CRM, send a Slack notification to your sales team, and fire off a welcome email. All in seconds, without anyone touching it manually. That's just one scenario. You can also automate invoicing. When a deal is marked 1, Make generates an invoice in QuickBooks and emails it to the client. Done. If you're a freelancer, think about how much time you spend on admin. Booking a call on Calendly? Make can automatically add it to your calendar, email the client a welcome packet, and log the booking in a spreadsheet. Time tracking? Every task you mark as complete in Trello can be logged to a time tracker automatically. At the end of the month, Make can compile those hours and draft your invoice, ready for your review. If you're a content creator, this is where things get really exciting. One US content agency called Basilica used Make to save 5 to 6 hours per blog post by connecting Google Docs, Slack, and AI tools into a single automated pipeline. They doubled their content output without adding a single team member. Another company, Lightpost, can now create 5 pieces of content in under 1 minute using Make to connect ChatGPT, Airtable, their blog platform, and social media all in one flow. And if you just want personal automations, say you want to automatically forward Zillow listing alerts to your partner when you're house hunting, or send daily weather updates to an elderly family member in a storm-prone area, Make handles that too. It doesn't have to be business. It just has to be something you do repeatedly. Tips and best practices. Now, before you dive in and start building, there are a few things I wish someone had told me early on. The first one is simple. Plan before you build. Grab a piece of paper and sketch out the process. What triggers it? What steps follow? What the final outcome should be? It sounds obvious, but most beginners jump straight into the tool and end up misconfiguring things. A 5-minute sketch saves you 30 minutes of troubleshooting. Start small. Don't try to automate your entire business on day one. Pick one annoying repetitive task, something you do at least a few times a week, and automate just that. Get it working, learn from it, then layer in more complexity. Every scenario you build teaches you something. Use filters. This is one of those, wait, I can do that moments. Instead of running an action every single time a trigger fires, you can tell make to only proceed if certain conditions are met, only forward emails that have attachments, only create a Slack alert if the order is over a certain dollar amount. Filters make your automation smarter and save your operation credits at the same time. And speaking of operation credits, on the free plan, make limits how many operations, individual module runs you can use per month. So be mindful of how often your scenarios run. If checking for new emails every minute isn't necessary, set it to every 5 or 15 minutes. Small adjustments like that stretch your plan a lot further. Shakur, who should use Make? Beginner, intermediate, advanced. Beginner. Start with the free plan and pick a template. Make has a library of pre-built scenarios. Save Gmail attachments to Drive. Add new form responses to a spreadsheet, things like that. Connect your accounts, run a test, and see it work. That first aha moment where your automation fires correctly is genuinely satisfying. Don't touch routers or iterators yet. Just get one simple flow working. Intermediate. Now you're combining 3+ apps, adding filters, and starting to think about what else you can automate. Maybe you build a weekly report that pulls data from a spreadsheet, formats it, and emails it to you every Monday morning. Try using webhooks to trigger scenarios from your website or external tools. At this stage, Make starts to feel like a superpower. Advanced. You're using iterators to process large datasets, HTTP modules to connect to APIs that aren't natively supported, and maybe even scenario inputs to trigger workflows on demand via API calls. One Make user described it as having an extra employee, or 10, for a fraction of the cost. At this level, that's genuinely not an exaggeration. Real-world inspiration. Let me quickly run through a few more scenarios to get your ideas flowing, because sometimes seeing something concrete unlocks a use case you hadn't thought of. An e-commerce store owner can set up Make so that every new Shopify order automatically adds a row to a fulfillment spreadsheet, sends a thank you email to the customer, and posts an alert in a Slack channel for the shipping team. All of that from one trigger. A marketing freelancer can use Make to publish a blog post and have it automatically generate a tweet using OpenAI, schedule it in Buffer, and drop a LinkedIn snippet, all before they've even closed their laptop. And for families, if you've got a loved one living in a hurricane zone, Make can send you an automated weather alert email every morning during storm season. It's a small thing, but it's one less thing to worry about. Every one of these flows shares the same DNA. One trigger, a series of actions, and time you get back to spend on things that actually matter. So that's Make.com. What it is, how it works, and the kinds of things it can do for you, whether you're a business owner, a freelancer, a creator, or just someone who's tired of doing the same digital tasks over and over. Your move is simple. Head to Make.com, sign up for the free plan, no credit card required, and pick one template that looks useful. Run it, see it work, and then ask yourself, what else can I automate? If this video helped you out, drop a like and subscribe. We cover AI tools and automation here regularly, and I'd genuinely love to know in the comments, what's the first thing you're going to automate? Let me know below.